Welcome back to the Pick 3, where I am honored to be on the tee box this week after having our only winning record 1 week ago. Get used to it. This will be the norm. It's pretty unacceptable. Roush won the first couple of weeks. But this is how it should be, the way God intended, with me having the best record. Nick and Adam will be by soon with their deadweight picks. I encourage you to fade them every chance you get. Now for my picks, I'm going to start in Georgia, where first of all, go Braves. But I'm going to make the crazy pick and go against the Bulldogs in their college football game against the Auburn Tigers. Auburn looked good at Penn State in a loss. They beat LSU at LSU. I don't think they can win this game, but with 16 points and quarterback concerns at Georgia, I'm going to be an absolute crazy person and step out on this ledge and back Auburn, which will almost certainly backfire. But we're doing it. Auburn Tigers plus 16 in Athens.
For the first time, I'm sad to say that I wasn't 2-1. We're off the tee box, but we're getting right, and we're starting in a dangerous spot at the Big Ten West. Nobody hates Scott Frost more than me, but he's actually, this feels like I'm going to get backed into a corner, save my job. He's a home dog, and you know what I like about dogs? They're howling. And 3.5 points. That's just enough for Nebraska to play close and still lose. 5-15 in one-score games since Frost took over, the worst in FBS. That's because they're poorly coached. But I think he's going to get close enough against this Michigan football team that hasn't trailed all year long. They'll face a little adversity, come away with a narrow 3-point win, and the Huskers are going to cover. Man, can't believe I'm saying that.
We'll start off the day in SEC country. Got a nooner on Saturday as Tennessee and South Carolina are set to go at it in the SEC East matchup. Both teams projected to finish in the bottom of the division coming into the season, but South Carolina is hanging in there, winning ugly. But Tennessee picked up a huge win against Missouri last week. There's a lot of optimism surrounding the Vols right now. Hendon Hooker has stepped in for Joe Milton at quarterback, and it's got that offense ramped up and scoring some points. But this is a great spot to fade Tennessee. South Carolina can win ugly. They're not going to just play man defense on the outside like Missouri did. South Carolina is going to make Tennessee drive down the field. Meanwhile, South Carolina labors on offense. It might be the worst offense in the league outside of Vanderbilt. Because of that, this is a total play for us. Everyone's going to want to hammer that under after the Vols dropped a 60 burger there in Como. But we like the under here. Total sitting at 56.5. South Carolina has been an under machine this year, so go ahead and give me the under in that game as the Gamecocks do just enough to keep it close, and Beamer ball equals ugly football.
For my second pick, I'm taking us to Iowa, where John Delaney doesn't show up for his own bowling events, and the Hawkeyes are hosting Penn State in a battle of top 5 teams. Iowa giving 2 points to the Nittany Lions as they come to town. These are two great defenses. Iowa gets a lot of credit for theirs. Penn State, probably not enough for theirs. Offensively, I think Penn State's much better, and they have the better quarterback. For that, I'm leaning with the Nittany Lions. Give me Penn State plus 2, even getting the win against Iowa to remain undefeated.
What I do really like in the Big Ten West, though, the Burt Bowl. Yes. Brett Bielema gets to play his former Wisconsin Badgers team at home as a 10-point dog. Are you kidding me? Wisconsin can't beat a team by 10. Graham Mertz, he might throw 10 picks, but they're not going to beat another Big Ten team by 10. This is not in the cards. Brett is going to play ball control football and run it down his former team's throat. Give me the Fighting Illini in the city of Champaign.
Next up, going to the ACC. Wake Forest, undefeated, and has a legit chance to bring home a conference crown this year. Sam Hartman's throwing the ball around the yard. Dave Clawson has those boys playing with energy. Got some home cooking there last week to beat Louisville at home, and now they head on the road to the Carrier Dome. Sleepy Syracuse hanging in there with a win over Liberty under their belt in Florida State. Needed a last-second field goal to beat Syracuse at home there at Doak Campbell Stadium. Meanwhile, Wake Forest blew out Florida State, but the Seminoles had more total yards than them in that matchup. Syracuse quietly has a good defense. The 3-3-5 stack can give some teams some trouble. It's a great spot here for Syracuse, a letdown moment for Wake Forest. Give us the orange at home, catching 6 points. Dino Babers, get your boys fired up and ready to go.
For my final game, I'm going to Blacksburg, where Virginia Tech hosts 14th-ranked Notre Dame in a game that right now is a pick'em. The spread is 0. Notre Dame, coming off the loss to Cincinnati, obviously has a lot of people down on the Irish. They have not looked great this year, but I think they've been good enough. Good enough to win at Virginia Tech. I don't trust anything ACC. Give me Notre Dame 0. This one's a pick'em. Go Irish.
Finally, for our lock of the week, long-standing SEC rivals Oklahoma and Texas set to go at it. The Texas State Fair at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Lincoln Riley, of course, has had his way in this series, but Steve Sarkisian is a new sheriff in town as he looks to lead the Longhorns to a victory here as the battle for the Big 12 heats up. But Oklahoma's quietly got their act together a little bit the last 2 weeks. Spencer Rattler is returning to form, and that defense, led by defense coordinator Alex Grinch, is getting the job done. A top 25 unit there for the Sooners. They are the better team in this matchup. On a neutral field, they're only laying a field goal, 3 points. So we're going to lay it. Boomer Sooner, get your fried beer. Lincoln Riley puts on the golden hat, and the Sooners roll there in Dallas.
Best bet of the week. Inning on the Red River Shootout, and we're on the other side of Luckett. Luckett can suck it. The biggest loser of all of the losers is going to be Spencer Rattler and Adam Luckett, because just something's off about this Oklahoma team. They're not able to run the football. Texas can run the football. They've been underdogs 13 straight times in this game, 7-2 against the spread, and I believe 3 outright wins. This is an outright win. Horns up. Man, what am I saying? I'm saying horns up, and the Huskers are covering. This is a bonkers week in college football. I hate the slate, which means we're going 3-0 this week on the Pick 3, baby.